Hi, I'm Julian Sprung from Two Little Fishies, and I'm going to talk to you about our new product, Acro Power. Well, I shouldn't say new. It's been probably about a couple of years now, but I think it's something new for the hobby. There's been a trend in the past couple of years looking at growing, especially the SPS corals, in low nutrient conditions. And some of the hobbyists who have followed that trend and some of the manufacturers who've provided product lines for low nutrient reef aquariums have promoted the addition of amino acids to the aquariums. I would say it's probably more like about 5 years that it's been a trend. When I saw it, I thought, well, that's really interesting, no doubt about it. Corals are able to assimilate amino acids from the water. There's literature, scientific literature, that talks about that. But my initial reaction was to say, well, you know, we have closed system aquariums, we're maintaining fish, and we add foods that are loaded with proteins and amino acids. What possible benefit could there be in adding a supplement that has amino acids compared to just simply feeding the aquarium? So I really ignored it. I saw it, I thought, you know, it's going to benefit the tank, sure, but is it really something different? And what happened, I go to a lot of aquarium meetings, sometimes I'm involved in forums online, and I got a lot of messages, a lot of questions from people asking about amino acid supplements, and I also was getting prodded by some very knowledgeable hobbyists who said, you know, I've tried this and you should look into it. So I'm kind of like the shoemaker, and my aquariums are like the kids who don't have any shoes to wear. So, but I do eventually get around to looking into some things, and I decided to investigate by adding different amino acids individually to my aquariums and you know, taking notes and looking at what happened. And I found that there were certain amino acids that had surprisingly a profound effect. I really didn't expect the difference to be so notable. And that was both for me scientifically interesting thing, and then for me commercially an interesting thing. When I saw it, I said, wow, there really is something to this, and now I understand why other manufacturers are commercially interested in it. So at the time, I was under the impression that this was a trend for people growing SPS corals, and I had this idea of a name, Acro Power, and it's a very good name. What I did really sold the product short in a way, because what I learned was the addition of these amino acids not only benefits the Acropower and Seriatopora, Pasillopora, those SPS corals. You can see the benefits for anemones, for soft corals, for corallomorpharians. They all show a positive reaction to the addition of amino acids to the water. What positive reactions do you see? Within days you can notice dramatically improved coloration, so higher fluorescent color, whether it's fluorescent green or fluorescent pink, fluorescent purple. There's an intensification of color literally within days, so you have a nice positive feedback. I add this, my corals look happier, more colorful. You also get polyp extension. The corals get puffier, polyps get larger. So, you know, this is unmistakable, you know, a noticeable effect, much more so than simply feeding the aquarium or feeding the corals. In addition to the improvement in color and in polyp expansion, you would also notice an increase in growth in stony corals. And that happening in your aquarium is going to necessitate that you keep up with the calcium and alkalinity demands. But you would see, for example, on SPS corals, extension of new growth tips, development of new growth tips, and again, the response is in a short period of time. The coloration, literally within days, and within a week to 10 days, you would see new growth tips and more rapid expansion of polyps and extension of branches. So that was a surprise and a delight to see. And anybody who's tried it has observed these positive effects. It's simply a product where you dose the aquarium according to the instructions. You can dose it with a dosing pump. You can add it by hand. I personally add it by hand either daily or several times a week. Sometimes I don't have time to even feed my aquarium, so I just add it as often as I have the time to do so. It's not like if you don't add it, the corals are going to be suffering, but when you do add it, you get the positive response and better coloration. If you add too much, you may see some growth of cyanobacteria on the substrate if you have a sand bottom. It's not red slime algae. You may get what looks sort of like a brown type of a cyanobacteria, similar to diatoms. If you do see that happen when adding Acropower, just cut back, reduce the number of times per week you add it, or reduce the dosage, and the cyanobacteria goes away. Simple as that. Thanks.